Just over 2 years into German occupation in France, the systematic deportation of thousands of Jewish people would begin. In the end, roughly 75,000 people the Nazi Party deemed as undesirables would be ripped from their homes in France. Of those 75,000, only 2,500 would walk out alive. But in the midst of the despair, one village remained a beacon of hope. This is the story of the village of Le Chambon-sur-Lignon.
A year into World War II, France found themselves defending their border against the Nazi forces. Surprised by the quick invasion, France surrendered in mere months. Nazi troops quickly patrolled the streets, searching for Jews and other undesirables. Thousands were taken and deported into new concentration camps in Germany and France, suddenly fighting for their lives in hard conditions.
As tension continued to rise, more and more policies came up that forced Jewish people to expose themselves to the will of German forces. They were required to declare themselves to officials, forced to remain home and cease all work they were involved in, all while wearing the Jewish stars to identify themselves as a target of Germany. Refugees or anyone hiding from the watchful eyes of the Nazis had to be surrendered, with punishments of imprisonment or the threat of being sent to a concentration camp. This only made it all the more difficult to stay safe from the ongoing oppression and cruelty Germany had in store. Backed into a wall, Jews all over France looked for a way to escape the firm grasp the Nazis had on them.
During this time, a rural village in southern France called Le Chambon-sur-Lignon, surrounded by lush mountains, silently watched. The largely Protestant population was discriminated against during the 16th to 18th century, so they knew the experience that the Jews were facing. Finally, Pastor André Trosme decided to help. He started by hiding Jews in his church, and slowly got the rest of the town to join a secret act of resistance behind the Nazis' back.
By 1942, André Trosme and his village were committed to helping every last Jewish person that came to their door. Throughout all of it, they maintained the same mentality. Helping Jews was simply the right thing to do. When writing about the actions the people of Le Chambon took, Magda Trosme, André's wife, says, "Those of us who received the first Jews did what we thought had to be done, nothing more complicated." And that is exactly what they did. Evading Nazi roundup patrols, utilizing any intelligence they could come by, and capitalizing on their unique geography, Le Chambon became known as a safe haven for those seeking refuge. Before the patrols came searching for hideaways to deport, André would be warned by connections inside the Nazi authority. He would quickly send them away from the village to hide nearby, and would permit them to return when the Nazis left. In the heart of a country filled with darkness, the actions of one village took the path less traveled and took a stand when all seemed lost.
Despite constant searches and war around them, the remarkable village of Le Chambon prevailed. In 1942, the village also sheltered other anti-Nazi upstanders hiding from the Nazis, giving them a place to hide and recover. The children who escaped into the French village were treated with great care. They were given housing, schooling, and food after adopting a different name and fake papers.
We, under the circumstance and in retrospect, lived a fairly good life. We were looked after and fed, and every so often we would be told to suddenly leave the classroom or leave our home, Les Grillons, and go pick mushrooms. Everybody into the woods. Later on, we learned that when that happened, it was the result of an anonymous phone call to the leadership in the village, warning them that there would be a raid and that they were coming out to hunt for Jews or illegal residents there. And we would be kept in the woods until the all clear signal was given, and we would then come back into town.
Other refugees would willingly work in the farms, happy to give back to the community that protected them. In interviews, Magda Trosme would vividly recall the night in 1940 when a German Jewish woman arrived half frozen at the door, having fled Nazi Germany and traveled through occupied France until she heard about Chambon. Rumors of Leichenbaum's empathy spread to other nearby villages, and they too were inspired to join. The heroic actions of Leichenbaum's villagers saved an estimated 5,000 Jews from near certain death. After the war, the whole village was honored at the Righteous Among Nations, an international honor for people who stood up for Jews during the Holocaust.
Today, Leichenbaum-sur-Lignon remains a powerful symbol of people stepping up instead of standing back. As André Trosme said of his village's mission, "We ignore what is a Jew. We only know what are human beings." All too often, we tend to change how we treat people due to little things that make us different. But in the end, we are all human, despite what sets us apart, a fact we must act on.